I started the Outlaw Collective, well, it's hard to even say I started it. I came up with the idea and sort of set things in motion. It's much more like a machine that's moving than it is something that I built or made. When I made the Outlaw Collective, I was trying to make something that I could give to my friends that had substance and meaning and integrity and significance that they could take if they wanted to or not take if they didn't, and use in whatever way they chose to use it to help themselves feel more agency.
The American government, they're sneaky, they're very deceitful, they're the liars, they're cheats, they're rip-offs. I mean, the American government is one systematic government that nobody can trust. I don't trust them myself.
The idea grew much more than I expected on its own outside of anybody else. It's not as inclusive. It's not as...
What kind of reactions do you usually get?
It's not as accepting. It's much more narrow than I envisioned it. It's much more careful. It's much more focused. And I was hoping it would be something that would, inspire people and move things in this scene forward and draw things together. And it may not do that specifically. It may not draw in a bunch of outsiders, but I do know that it inspires me and moves me forward without my own work. I consider the Outlaw Collective now so much further and so much more than me. Half the time I feel like I'm not even a part of it.
I said, I'm here to pay off my speeding ticket, and I'm here to get my fines out of the way and get the fuck to work. The judge says, you can't talk like that in my courtroom, you're in contempt of court. And I said, I told the judge, if that's the best you can do, I feel sorry for you. I said, why don't you just shut your fucking mouth for once and listen? I said, I'm not gonna take your shit. I said, I'm gonna pay my speeding ticket like I said. I walked up to the goddamn bench and I handed my $25 up and I said, there's my money, now I am leaving. And I left it at that.
It doesn't have any sort of membership criteria or stability. There are times that the Outlaw Collective is memberless, but that doesn't stop it from existing. And there are times when the Outlaw Collective is so inclusive that it almost stops existing because it doesn't have any sort of relevant referent.
I got every right to get loud. I said, you can't do a goddamn thing about it because I'm expressing myself in your court and there is nothing you can do about it. You think you're God because you have a rope and you can put people up the goddamn river for 20 years? Well, you're not. And it's that.
Simultaneity. The Outlaw Collective stands for simultaneity. It's lots of things at once. And it contradicts itself. It's multiple things at the same time. I guess you'd have to ask anybody who identifies with it what it stands for them.
Like I said, they're deceitful, they're lying, they're cheats, they rip the people off. That's the American government for you. America is a third world country and people don't recognize it, and I think that's pretty goddamn sad that they don't recognize their own country as a third world, third rate, third class slum.
Ideally, for me, what I want out of the Outlaw Collective is to push people to help each other. I want them to show up to a spot and see that something got built. I want them to be able to ride it and have fun, but really I want them to want to build something else for other people, not even necessarily for themselves. I want them to find a new spot and contribute to the scene in the way they want to.
Think things are going to get better before they get worse?
No way. Things are just going to get worse and keep on getting worse. Like I said, America's a third world country as it is, and we're just basically in a hopeless situation as it stands.
You don't need to ask for permission to have a good time. You don't need to apply to a club or sign up for field time or pay a membership fee. You can find fun and meaning in the world without anything. It's all there for you. And if you build it, if you put yourself into it,
Ready as I'll ever
and if
be.
you can get other people into it too, then we can move forward from
It's a little saying,
this commercialistic
dates back from generations.
mire that we're stuck in.
Be prepared for anything at any time from anybody, and don't take no shit. Always stand your ground. People want to come up to me and run their mouth. Guess what? I'll throw them through the fucking window. I won't think a thing of it. Oh.
Would you mind reciting your poem for us?
Not at all. I don't see why I couldn't. There's an evil virus. It's threatening mankind. It's not a state of the art. It's a serious state of the mind. The muggers, the backstabbers, the two-faced elite, a menace to society, a social disease. To brainwash the mind is a social disorder. The cynics, the apathy went up in chip order. Watching beginnings of social decay, gloating and staring at life's disarray, eating away at your own self-esteem, pouncing on every word that you might be saying. To attack someone's mind is a social disorder. The Constitution, the government, martial law order. Superficially smile and a shake of the hand as soon as your back is turned, treason is planned. When every good thing's laid to rest by the government's hate, by the Constitution in their lies. And every time you think you're safe, and when you go to turn away, you know they're sharpening all their knives. All in your mind, all in your head, try to relate it. All in your mind, all in your head, try to escape it. Without a conscience, they destroy, and that's the thing that they enjoy. There are sickness that's in all of our minds. They want to sink the ship and leave the way they laugh at you and me. You know it happens all the time. But it only happens in your mind. The rats in the cellar, you know who you are, or do you? Watching beginnings of social decay.
Thank you.